Hello everyone, I am Alan Enraged, and welcome back to the Monster Train Daily Challenge. Quick is amazing. Musical chairs can screw us up a little bit. Enemy units having damage shield is rough. Stygian Guard has some weaker units, which will be negatively affected by the musical chairs. And I love playing with Melting Remnant. Spell weakness isn't amazing because of the damage shield. Adding burnout to our melting remnants will be useful, especially if we grab some tankier ones. I don't know how great this will be. Let's see how we can make it work. This is a hard choice. This is more consistently good. But depending on what we draft, we could make this work. The normal limitations of this is you don't get to choose the order of the units on that floor. But with musical chairs, they're going to swap every turn anyway. So this could save us a lot of tempo. The issue is it does not summon our champion. So for these first couple fights, our champion's going to be a little bit weaker. The spell weakness is not useful because of the damage shield. I mean, sure, once we get past it. But the frostbite will be more useful quicker. Although, after the next upgrade, we do want to get the sweep. I don't think we're going to take the risk here, since we don't really know how this is going to go, and we know our champion isn't going to be as viable this round. Summoned 3 out of our 4 train stewards and 1 out of our 3 or 4 drags. And these are actually pretty weak units. We might still be able to set up on the bottom floor, assuming we draw one of our drags or burnouts next. But I'm going to set up on the top floor for safety's sake. I'll add spell weakness. Freeze a drag, because I don't want to cast it quite yet. And then I'll just get rid of his damage shield, which luckily doesn't remove the spell weakness. We'd really like that gold. And we want to start getting rid of damage shields on this floor. That turned out better than expected. Draw one, discard one is useful. The helical crystals is diminished due to the spell shield, but since it hits twice, it's one of our most useful spells. I really like Draft here as another one space unit that we can start giving burnout to. At the very minimum, it's a 1 turn 20 damage due to the quick. Multi-strike and buffing damage here is going to be one of our more useful unit upgrades. Especially for a sweeper. We're gonna upgrade our sweeper, and we're gonna set her on the bottom floor if we can. It gets rid of spell shield or damage shield and makes her spells more useful on the second and third floor. We'll upgrade our draft here. We could probably get away with this, but I'm going to hold off one more time in hopes to make our deck a little stronger. The haste here means it's going to completely skip our second floor. And we can reliably kill the first two. First one. But we're really going to need a way to get rid of this haster. Play the Drain Steward just to get it out of our deck. You don't have anything set up on the bottom floor. And she's gonna skip our middle floor. It's really unfortunate. We're gonna take a lot more damage here than we wanted to. A lot more. Glad we didn't take the challenge. And only hoping that we can make it back from here. A bit more directed damage. We'll be able to get rid of spell shields or damage shields on enemies we prefer, rather than just the front unit. An entombed explosive. It's another one space unit that can tank some damage. We really need the health here, but I don't know exactly what we would want to upgrade. But we cannot make it through the Daedalus fight without that extra bit of health. I normally get aggressive, but we seem a little low on gold. So we'll try to make use of the petty theft, which is almost as good. I have a mind to either upgrade the giraffe or the entombed explosive. I think the giraffe could be more useful. And then we can start removing dregs. Let's see if we can beat Daedalus. The dealing 1 damage on death is better than the explosive dealing damage twice. With the quick, I don't see any issue with this floor other than him dying out quickly, which wouldn't be an issue if we could easily replace him, but we don't have the capacity to do so. But I do think we're going to use some spells to get some extra gold. We're just going to put the spell weakness on him in hopes that we can use the helical crystals on him one turn. Which would pretty nearly kill him. We don't really need to cast this spell here, so we're not going to. It's interesting that the frostbite applies despite the damage shield. I guess if it were a spell shield it wouldn't work. So that ended up being a pretty good pick. The double sweep once again gets rid of all the enemy units, but ours is in front. There's nothing we can do about that. So we just have to deal with losing our champion here before our champion can even attack. Oh no, he'll still attack, but just won't be as useful. So we'll start setting up a top floor. We're gonna keep adding spell weakness to the boss. I have half a mind to just heal up our Silophyte. It's going to die soon anyway, and this will make it more useful for longer. But we'll save our Giraffe instead. We have 8 spell weakness on him. He doesn't have anybody in front of him, so we have several turns to get to our damaging spells. We're not going to waste the ones here. We will, however, increase how much spell weakness we stack on him. And get some gold from this guy. Never mind. Here are our helical crystals, and this should be lethal. We don't really have that many spells in the deck, and I don't think we're gonna build to having that many spells in the deck. And this sounds really good. We want it to have permafrost so that it stays in our hand for when we need it. But in events like that where it's just the boss and large stacks of spell weakness, it should save our life over and over. We're gonna grab another tanky unit, and we do cast a lot of spells. But that sounds amazing too. I think we'll take the risk here and go with that one. We're not really hurting for capacity. I think energy is the pick. I don't like grabbing health when we're missing less than 20, so we're going to try and find reasons why this side is better. On this side we can remove train stewards, which will free up more space, possibly on the second floor, as well as forging our spells. We want permafrost on the pyre bounds. And we'll check out what Remnant unit is here first. I think the harvest here is the pick. Due to the quick, a lot of enemies should be dying before he even gets hit, so he could pseudo tank. Holdover is another pretty useful upgrade. And we could reduce the cost of our helical crystals. 20 magic power and consume on a frozen lands, which is kind of like a semi-purge. Makes our deck thinner as we play it. I think our helical crystal's at 1 cost. Held over would be really nice. But I like the idea of being able to heal up and increase the burnout of our drafts, since they are some of our higher damage units. We're definitely just going to remove the Drain Stewards, because everything else we have is just much better. We want to grab... Well, we wanted the sweep here. Damage spells costing 1 less could be useful, but I don't imagine we'll have insane energy requirements at this point. So I'm gonna go with this, hoping we get the sweep after Fell. So the upside to non-boss enemy units getting multi-strike is that our units have quick. We could potentially kill many of the units before they get to strike. The downside is that if we don't kill them, they kill all of our units. So we're gonna keep it off. It's unfortunate that the explosive spawned at the front, because next turn is guaranteed not to be at the front. Free gold. We're losing our lodestone totem and our draft, which is less than ideal. I don't want to summon a train steward on this floor. I'd rather summon the dregs. And we got our Purifying Cleanse much too late. It's not our holdover one, so we're not going to cast it anyway. We have a brief respite here. Not gonna waste our spell weakness, because next turn we can guarantee to kill him. And that's 720 damage for 1 mana. I'm really liking these incants on our floor with our champion. And I think the armor will give us some more survivability. The reform can get us back some of our units that died in less than graceful ways. We'd like to reduce its cost by 1 and give it holdover. We can't afford a trinket. We could afford 1 trinket. We don't need the health. We could not spend money for artifact. This is a hard decision. We can either see 3 artifacts and choose 1, or see 2 artifacts and choose 1 and not spend 200 gold. We don't have any high cost spells. This, I guess. I don't think that's more useful than the armor. We can give permafrost to that firebounds without having to use our spell on it. We can upgrade our reform to cost 1. We can give plus 10 magic power to our petty theft. That might get us more gold in the future. We'll purge another train steward. We're definitely not going to take this either, so this is not going to be a high points run. But our deck just can't handle that many units right off the bat, and we just got our elf to full. So we're going to keep playing it safe. He has multistrike. Multistrike 4. It's just a high health guy. That is. I really don't like the sycophant. This kills all the units. We'll keep setting up. I think we'll actually save both of these spots for our... Never mind. We'll put 1 here. Our goal here is just to stack as much spell weakness as we can on the enemy. It's only going to be a couple. $90 times 3, 270. We need to do much more damage without using any damage spells. Adds a little bit. Doesn't help me any. We got there. I didn't think we were going to get there, but we got there. I'm really liking applying dazed 1 to enemy units. A little bit more reform is helpful. Yeah, we don't need the health. It'd be a waste. We can remove more units, gain more gold, duplicate it card. Now what to duplicate? What is our most useful card? I like the idea of double Icy Silophyte. It can really rack up the spell weakness we get to the boss before the top floor. We'll see if it works out. Alright, see, one of our Icy Silophytes was summoned here. We don't want to take 5 damage if we can help it. We're just going to start racking up spell weakness to the boss. We can start healing. We'll hit more spell weakness on the boss here. We'll start chipping away at that one. Losing our champion here is not ideal, but I don't see a way around it. And he only gives frostbite right now. Right now our Silophytes are doing more. If we had one more capacity, we could have saved him. We should have put that on the top floor. We can reform our champion once, which will... he'll die immediately afterwards, but if we reform him again, he might survive long enough. We're also going to gain a bit of gold here, I think. Not exactly sure what happened to our... We'll get some frostbite on him. Keep racking up our... Pretty sure he's dead next turn. I could be wrong. Nothing here is any useful. Think we get the capacity here? Always useful to get a little bit extra. Anything. Especially consume cards. They make your first couple draws more inconsistent. Sweep! That's what we wanted, especially with the spell weakness now that we have a spell weakness theme going on. More multistrike. And can't gain 1 armor. They already have quick, it's a waste of an upgrade. I think the sap one is more useful. Keep buffing the damage of our drafts. Now we still have enough for an artifact. The Merchant of Trinkets. Hopefully we can find something useful. We could probably get away with this. I think we'll try it out. He gets stronger when he's damaged. He gets stronger when he lives. Oh no, he fucks us up when he lives. And that guy's just a tank. We really don't want our Xylophite to take 11 damage. Alright, cool. Whew. We'll just add the Frostbite here. It's in our deck. We don't have anything to reform. We don't want him to die. He's getting really close to dead. Yeah, the Frostbite will kill him before he's even a worry. I think we can deal with discarding our hand here. We'll have several turns to get our Ice Empire back. And it just saves us a little bit of damage. But we'll save it for when one of our guys is about to die. Like now. Let's see if putting a dragon front saves him. It does. So we can keep saving it. Should have done that first. We're just gonna start sapping them. Luckily we have the armor, but I'm really surprised he made it this far. Free gold! Sexy draft. We're just gonna keep killing him with ice and fire for as long as we can. More sap. I like sap. This is too late in the game to grab, despite it being really good. We don't have any X cost cards that this can be capitalized on. And let's see if we can beat the Seraph. Definitely not one of our highest scores runs, but it'll be close. We could duplicate a card, which is nice. We already have a lot of frozen. Units gaining an extra upgrade slot is not useful here. We don't need gold. These two. These two are where it's at. The question is, do we copy another Icy Silophyte? I like the idea of increasing our amount of sap we can put on enemies. So obviously the purifying emblem will make things a little bit more difficult, but hopefully we stack up enough debuffs that it won't matter. So this one's gonna die immediately. Doesn't look like there's anything we can do about that, but we can bring it back with our reform. This will only bring it back for one turn, but we're going to stack some spell weakness to the boss. And get some chip damage in. I'm really surprised enemies has made it this far. He's completely removed his spell weakness thus far. We're already on the final wave. That was definitely not what we wanted to discard. And we got there. That's how you beat today's daily challenge. I'm Alan Enraged. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for future content. See you next time.